Hello everybody, we are back at the UKG for 2024. I'm joined by Mark and Victor from Devir, because I've been told I have to see this game by the man behind the camera, and they have so much else to look at as well. So I will start on this side. Do you want to tell me a bit about what Devir has brought and what we're looking at in front of us? Because there's a few games here, but it's not the full range by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, we start with Salton Sea. I think here in UK, we are coming from Barcelona in Spain, and I think Salton Sea is available here from some weeks ago. And this week, our big release is Sand. Salton Sea is our most difficult game that we have on display here. It's basically a worker placement game. You can perform at least, I think it's 12 or 13 different actions, from drilling brine in order to get lithium, and then selling it, fulfilling contracts. You can buy some investigation cards in order to get improvements. You can go to the stock market and get some money in order to get a lot of victory points. The most interesting thing of this game is that money is at the same time cards that perform better actions than the ones that you have in your personal board. So you have to think very carefully, oh, I'm spending money because I'm spending some big cards, or what I'm doing. And then Sand is a very special game for us because it takes place in a particular universe that Devir has created with some of its games. We call it the Kemushi Saga, that involves games like Bitoku, Bamboo, and Sand is our last release. If you know Bitoku, or if you have played Bitoku, you will notice that it's the same board, but where you had a big forest, now you have a big desert, that something had happened here. And it's basically a pick up and deliver game. It's our first game designed by a couple of Argentinian authors. Mm-hmm. We went to Buenos Aires some weeks ago to present it and show it. And Argentinians were crazy. They were very happy to be hosting this. And basically, you go mounting your caterpillar. You go to take one thing from one place and deliver it in another place. The one that gets more money wins.
The look of it seems like it's very child-orientated. Is that the style of game it is, where it's a more of an entry-level game compared to something like Salton Sea?
I should tell you yes, but if you look at the box, we put a 14H. So it looks like a bit childish, but all these kind of games are inspired a bit of the Ghibli studio looks. So that has movies. Studio Ghibli's movie are an adult movie, but had this kind of look, this particular look that reminds us of our childhood. But answering your question, yes, this is a more expert game than this one. If you are looking for a more introductory or familiar game, you have to go to Cities.
Oh, in that case, I have to go to Mar. So, hello.
I'm here.
So tell us about Cities then.
Yeah, Cities is going to be our new release in July, I think. Now, part of our team is in Mega Expo in Mexico, presenting this game. And it's, well, first of all, you have a field worker Harding designing the game, so just for that, it's a game that you should have in your radar. Yeah. But it's a tile placement game, a city construction game, and it has a sort of a draft, actually, a draft mechanic, which basically every turn you will choose one thing from a row, and each round you will take one thing from each row, actually. So you can repeat the same row, okay. And if you take a city tile, it's to start your city. You have the scoring cards that will give you extra points at the end of the game, depending on the things that you have in your city. You have featured tiles that you will place in your parks, in your water, and you will score for a set collector, we can say this. Yeah. And you have the buildings that you will create the different buildings, and you have to manage the scores of the cards and the score of the cities. You have 8 different cities, which at the end they propose different achievements, and it gives that the replayability to the game, a nice look, and a not complicated game. It's not a punitive game. Actually, you have always something to do. Maybe not the best choice, and it's a familiar game, and we think that we have a very good game here, actually.
But then when any game has a draft mechanic where maybe the choice isn't great for you, but it can prevent your opponent from getting a better choice for them.
Yeah, that's one of the things, but actually you, at the end of the round, you will pick one thing from each place, actually. So it's just, you can try to piss off your opponent, but you also want the best things to you, so you have to seek that balance. For example, you are focused that you need those buildings, then you will go for those buildings, and then for the other things, maybe, well, okay, I will take those, and even if I cannot use it, I know that you won't use those, so you have that component, but it's not the main thing of the game. It's not a really complicated game in this sense.
Sure. So that one's one that you're working on. What about Rock Hard then? Is this an upcoming or a new?
Okay, actually we cannot say a lot of things of Rock Hard because that's a pre-production copy, and we have it here for our games, Thames and Cosmos, and it will be officially presented in the GameCon. Okay. But it's actually basically you will try to become a rock star, and you have to balance your regular shitty job. So you have to commit to a regular life during the day, but you have to party hard to be a rock star if you want that. And so it's just balancing this. It's not a complicated game, but it's full of cool things here. Actually, the designer is Jackie Fox. She was a bass player for I don't remember the name of the group, but it was a rock group, the first rock group that was created just for women. All the components were women, and she had this game on her mind for a long time. And once we released Lacrimosa, she saw, okay, those are guys that released a music game actually, and they took care of the different things, so I think that game is for them. So that's why we had this game here.
It seems very interesting to play. I'm always reminded of Henry Rollins talking about how he used to work in an ice cream shop, and then he would occasionally get a chance to go and sing with some bands, and eventually he got the chance to go and join Black Flag, and it was like turning to his boss and going, I can't come in next week. It's that live my dream or spend the rest of my life scooping ice cream, and sometimes you've got to rock hard, sometimes you've got to scoop the ice cream. Interesting to see from Devir here. So new games, brand spanking new games that you can check out, along with a couple of upcoming ones as well. Where will people find you at the Expo?
In the Hall 1, in the booth 602.
And if they're looking for your online Devir games?
Of course, yeah. Devirgames.com is the American website, and if not, it's devir.com is the Spanish website. So you will find our productions and other games that we're publishing in Spanish. Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. Definitely worth checking out some of the upcoming stuff. And from all intents and purposes, I've been told you have to check out Sand. So drop by, have a look at those, and if you can't make it to the Expo, then check them out online. We're going to move on and see what else is here at the Expo for you.